Have you ever laughed along with a group while someone was given a funny nickname, and then, when you were finally alone, felt a strange heaviness in your chest that you could not shake off? Have you ever said, "Relax, I am just joking," while a little voice inside you whispered, "If it is just a joke, why does their smile look so stiff and their eyes so dim?" Welcome back to the channel, my friend. I am really glad you are here for this topic, because it is one that almost every one of us has been on both sides of. Today we are going to talk about something that seems so light and harmless on the surface, yet can quietly shape a person's self-image, their choices, their relationships, and even the path of their destiny. The nicknames we give, the jokes we make, and the power of the words that leave our mouths. The original article behind this script asked a disarming question: is one joke really no big deal? It described how a casual nickname can follow a person for years, how a phrase meant to be funny can become a label carved into someone's heart, and how, from a spiritual point of view, every word we speak is like a seed we throw into the field of karma. Today we are going to take that seed and look at it from many sides: psychological, emotional, spiritual, and karmic. We are going to explore why a sentence that takes 1 second to say can take years to heal. We will look at how joking labels can become self-fulfilling prophecies, how teasing can quietly turn into emotional violence, how "I am just kidding" often hides fear of responsibility, and how changing the way we speak can literally change the fate of a child, a friend, or a partner. And we will do it, as always, in a story-based, heart-to-heart way, weaving in the themes of awakening, wisdom, cause and effect, compassion, practice, and destiny. So, take a slow breath and think for a moment. Can you remember a nickname you were given that you never truly liked, but that stuck to you anyway? Maybe it was about your body: fat one, skinny stick, big nose, shorty, chubby, toothpick. Maybe it was about your ability: slow, airhead, nerd, useless, clumsy. Maybe it was about money: poor kid, rich brat, beggar, spoiled. Maybe it was about your family background, your skin, your accent. At first, everyone laughed. Maybe you laughed too, because it felt safer than protesting. The more they laughed, the deeper the label sank in. Years later, you might still feel that sting if someone mentions it, even though everyone around you insists. We were just playing. Let us step into a story. Imagine a boy named Daniel in elementary school. He is slightly overweight and a bit shy. One day, during sports class, he runs slower than some others. A classmate, full of energy and not much awareness, calls out, "Look at him, he is like a waddling penguin." The whole group laughs. The teacher does not say much, just shakes their head with a half smile. That afternoon, a new nickname is born: Penguin. Some kids shout it across the hallway when they see him. Others say it in a friendly tone, as if it is a sign of affection. If you really mean it in a cruel way, undad mocking gestures. Daniel, wanting to fit in, forces himself to laugh. He even starts using the nickname for himself sometimes, telling jokes like, "The penguin is here, make way." On the surface, it looks like he has accepted it. But inside, something very different is happening. Every time someone calls him penguin, an invisible message is delivered under the laughter: you are slow, you are clumsy, your body is wrong, you are different. At first, those messages just sting. After a while, they start to crystallize into belief. He begins to avoid sports even more. He tells himself, "I am just not athletic, Why try? When the class needs volunteers for physical activities, he shrinks back. If someone suggests he join them on a hike or a game, he says, "No, I am lazy. You know me. I am just a penguin." The nickname, which was just a joke, has become a script. 10 years later, as a young man, he is still struggling with his weight. It is not just about food or exercise now. It is about identity. Deep down, he has come to believe, "I am the slow, clumsy one. I am the one others laugh at. I am the one who does not belong in spaces of strength and confidence." That belief shapes his choices. He avoids gyms because he imagines everyone is judging him. He hesitates to apply for certain jobs. He dates less because he feels insecure in his body. From a purely psychological perspective, we can say that repeated labels become internalized as part of the self-image. From a spiritual perspective, we can say that those careless words have become part of his karmic conditioning, the invisible threads that pull his life one way instead of another. Now, imagine an alternate reality. In that same sports class, when the classmate shouts penguin and others start laughing, the teacher steps forward and says calmly, "We do not use people's bodies as jokes. Words have power. We can laugh together, but not by making someone smaller." Then they turn to Daniel and say, in front of everyone, "Running takes courage. Thank you for not giving up. If you keep practicing, you will surprise yourself." Imagine that half the kids in that class hear this and think, "Oh, right, maybe that nickname is not so funny after all." The joke dies in their mouths. It never becomes a habit. In this alternate reality, Daniel still grows up with his own difficulties, but without that heavy label. Maybe he still struggles with confidence sometimes, but he does not carry around a lifelong nickname that reinforces his worst fears about himself. One intervention, one adult using their words wisely, changes a child's destiny. If we look at these two paths through the lens of cause and effect, we see how subtle but powerful the karmic effects of speech are. One casual joke multiplies, spreads, gets repeated, and becomes a pattern. One act of conscious, compassionate speech can cut off a harmful pattern before it takes root. Let us move now to the other side of the story, because most of us have not only been the Daniels of this world, we have also been the ones calling out the names. Think of a time you gave someone a nickname that they did not choose. Maybe it was among siblings, classmates, colleagues, or friends. The first time you said it, maybe it felt clever and harmless. People laughed. You felt momentarily powerful, seen, admired. You did not notice that brief flicker in the other person's eyes. Why did you say it? Often, when we dig down, we find that careless joking comes from our own discomfort. We joke about someone's weak point to cover our own fear of being weak. We tease someone beneath us to avoid facing those we feel beneath them. We laugh so loudly at others to drown out the criticisms we aim at ourselves. From a spiritual view, this is a kind of projection. Instead of looking inward at our own insecurities, we throw them outward as jokes, hoping they will stick to others instead. But in the law of karma, nothing is truly thrown away. The intention behind our words sticks to us too. Let us tell another story. There is a woman named Claire. At work, she is known as the funny one. In meetings, she always has a sarcastic comment ready. If a coworker makes a mistake, she wraps her criticism in humor. "Look, our little disaster machine has struck again." People laugh. The coworker smiles weakly. Claire shrugs and says, "Come on, I am just keeping things light." At home, Her partner has started calling her out. Sometimes your jokes are really mean. They say she feels irritated. You are too sensitive. She snaps. Everyone laughs. If they can't take a joke, that is their problem. One day, a new co-worker joins the team. He is quiet, serious, and still learning the ropes. During a meeting, he mispronounces a term, and Claire pounces. Wow, wow, she says. Did you learn that word from a cartoon? Laughter. She looks around, expecting the usual reaction. But this time, something is different. The new co-worker looks down and says softly, I am sorry. His cheeks redden. His hands tremble slightly. The room falls awkwardly silent. One of the senior colleagues, who rarely comments on such things, says quietly, let us support each other instead of tearing down. We all mispronounce words sometimes. Claire feels a sharp prick in her chest. For a moment, she sees herself from the outside, a grown adult using a newbie as a target just to keep up an image of wit. She remembers suddenly her own childhood, when a teacher mocked her for reading slowly. She remembers the heat in her face, the urge to disappear, the vow she made then one day. I will be the one making the jokes, not the one being laughed at. In that instant, she sees the chain. Hurt turned into armor. Armor turned into cruelty disguised as humor. Humor turning into karma. That night, she lies awake. The sentence I am just joking no longer feels solid. It feels like a flimsy shield she has been using to avoid responsibility for the impact of her words. For the first time in many years, she whispers a different sentence, maybe I have been wrong. From the point of view of awakening, this is a crucial moment. The mask of I am just like this cracks, and a more honest self-reflection appears. From the point of view of destiny, this is the moment when a karmic pattern can start to bend. We often underestimate our speech because it leaves no visible mark like a physical wound. Yet, if you think about the wounds that shaped you most deeply, many of them were made of words. You are useless. You are ugly. No one will ever want you. You always ruin everything. What is wrong with you? Those words may have been said only once or twice, but replayed in your mind 1,000 times. Each replay deepens the groove. Each repetition writes them a little more deeply into the story you tell about yourself. From a Buddhist perspective, this is exactly how karma works on the psychological level. A thought or word that is repeated often enough becomes a mental formation, a tendency. It influences future thoughts, future feelings, future actions. You think you are just expressing yourself, but you are actually writing the script of your future reactions. Now, let us talk about nicknames and labels once more, but this time from the angle of self-naming. Sometimes the cruelest nicknames do not come from others. They come from us. I am stupid. I am trash. I am a mess. I am cursed. I am a failure. You may not say these out loud to anyone, but inside, you say them all the time. Maybe originally, they were given to you by others, and you adopted them. Maybe you invented them yourself in a moment of despair, then repeated them until they felt familiar. In either case, each time you say them, you renew their power. Imagine a young woman named Lily. At some point in school, a teacher called her slow because she needed more time to understand math. Classmates picked up that label. You are so slow, they would say whenever she hesitated. Over the years, Lily started telling the joke before anyone else could. I am slow. You know me. It became her shield. If she declared herself slow, then no one else could hurt her by doing it first. In college, she discovers she is actually quite good at writing, understanding people. But every time a professor encourages her to push herself, a voice whispers, "Remember, you are slow." She hesitates to apply for programs she is perfectly capable of handling. She stays small, safe, invisible. This is the dark side of self-labeling. Even when life offers you a bigger space, the nickname in your own head tells you to stay in the small room. From a wisdom perspective, awakening includes seeing these labels as empty. Not empty as in meaningless, but empty as in not fixed, not your true essence, not a permanent verdict. When you realize, I am not my nicknames, not my worst moments, not my temporary roles, something in you loosens. Spiritual teachings often talk about not self, which sounds philosophical but becomes very practical here. If you truly were stupid by essence, you would never be able to learn. But you have learned thousands of things since childhood. If you truly were unlovable by essence, no one would ever have cared for you. But at some point, someone did care, even if imperfectly. If you truly were a mess by essence, there would be no part of you that longs for clarity and peace. Yet you are here, listening to this, which means that part exists. Once you see that labels are not your nature but your habits, you can begin to speak to yourself differently. Instead of saying, "I am trash," you might say, "I am a person who has made mistakes and is learning." Instead of, "I am cursed," you might say, "I am someone going through a hard karmic season, but I am not defined only by this moment." Words are not magic spells in a childish sense, but they are powerful suggestions. They can either lock you deeper into a trance of self-hatred or gently wake you up. Let us bring karma and destiny into the center of the discussion now. In many spiritual traditions, it is said that every action of body, speech, and mind creates consequences. Speech is often given a special place because it sits between thought and action. You can think of words as bridges. They take something from your inner world and lay it down in the outer world. When you call a child hopeless over and over, you are building a bridge for that idea to walk from your mind into theirs. When you call a friend our drama queen every time they express real emotions, you are building a bridge that connects their vulnerability with shame. When you repeat to yourself, "I am unlucky" every time something goes wrong, you are building a bridge that ties your sense of self tightly to misfortune. Over years, those bridges become roads. People walk them without questioning where they lead. But here is the hopeful part: bridges can be rebuilt. Roads can be redirected. Imagine a father named Mark who, in his 20s and 30s, was very careless with words. He called his son useless whenever the boy made a mistake. He thought he was toughening him up. At school, the son repeated this nickname in his own head every time he faced something difficult. His grades dropped. His confidence shrank. In his 40s, Mark has a spiritual crisis. He goes through a series of losses that make him question his old ways. Through therapy and spiritual talks, he begins to understand the power of his speech. One evening, he sees his teenage son sitting in the dark, shoulders hunched. He hears him whisper, "I am just useless anyway." It is like a knife twisting in Mark's heart. For the first time, he sees his own old words coming back at him through his child's mouth. The karma has ripened. The destiny he unconsciously wrote with his tongue is now alive in his living room. In that moment, he has a choice. He can repeat the old pattern, or he can begin to rewrite it. He sits down next to his son and, with difficulty, says, "I want to apologize. I have called you useless many times. That was wrong. You are not useless. You are struggling, and you are learning, and I have not been kind. I am sorry." His voice shakes. His son looks shocked. No one has ever heard this man apologize before. This apology does not erase years of damage overnight, but it cracks open a new path. It is like someone finally turning a car slightly on a highway. The destination will be different now, even if the vehicle is still moving slowly. The karma of speech is not a one-way chain. As long as breath is still in your body, you can begin to say new things. You can use your tongue, which once cut, to now soothe. You can use your voice, which once cursed, to now bless. Let us talk about blessing for a moment, because often we do not realize how rare and precious it is. Think of how often people criticize you, correct you, point out your mistakes. Now think how often people sincerely say to you, "I see your effort. I believe in you. I am grateful you exist. You did well. You are growing." For many people, the second list is much shorter than the first. Every sincere word of encouragement is like a drop of water in a dry field. It does not instantly create a forest, but it allows seeds to live instead of die. When you say to a child, "I know this is hard, but you are capable," you are watering their courage. When you say to a friend, "I am here for you," even if it takes time, you are watering their sense of worth. When you say to yourself, "I am struggling, but I am not beyond hope," you are watering your own resilience. From a destiny perspective, people who have heard more blessings grow in a different atmosphere. They are not invincible, but they have more inner resources to face hardship. They have internal voices that encourage instead of only criticize. And you, right now, can decide which kind of voice you want to be in the lives around you. There is a powerful idea in spiritual practice. Every moment is an opportunity to change your relationship with cause and effect. Maybe in the past you used your words casually, even cruelly. Maybe you have participated in groupthink, laughed at hurtful nicknames, joined in labeling others. Maybe you have spoken to yourself with words you would never use on someone you love. You cannot go back and unsay things, but you can, starting from this breath, decide that your mouth will be used more for clarity, unkindness than for violence. What does that look like in practical, everyday terms? It looks like noticing that moment when a mean joke rises to your lips and choosing not to say it. It looks like catching yourself when you are about to repeat a gossipy label about someone, uncausing instead. It looks like gently asking your group of friends, "Hey, do you think she actually likes that nickname?" It looks like apologizing when you realize your words have cut someone deeply. Instead of hiding behind, "I was only kidding." It looks like consciously giving people better names to live into. You are brave. You are thoughtful. You are learning fast. You have a kind heart. It also looks like talking to yourself differently. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, "I am such an idiot," you can say, "I made a mistake. What can I learn from it?" When you fail, instead of, "I always fail," you can say, "This attempt did not work. That does not define all of me." When you feel ugly or unworthy, instead of reinforcing that story, you can say, "I am more than my appearance. My value is not measured only by looks." These may sound like small changes, but over years, they are huge. They change the tone of your inner world, and your outer actions follow. Now, let us touch an even deeper layer. Why does spiritual teaching care so much about speech? Because speech reveals the state of the heart. It is very hard to speak with cruelty day after day while having a truly compassionate heart. Likewise, people who genuinely cultivate loving kindness find it harder and harder to enjoy hurting others for fun. So when you work on your speech, you are actually working on your heart. When you restrain hurtful jokes, you are training your empathy. When you choose not to participate in humiliating nicknames, you are practicing seeing the Buddha nature, the basic dignity in others. Some traditions talk about the idea that every being has an inner light, a potential for wisdom and compassion. You can think of your words as either mud or water. Mud thrown repeatedly at that inner light makes it harder to see. Water, poured with care, helps it shine. You do not need to believe in any religion to feel the truth of this. Think of one person in your life whose words consistently uplift you. Being around them makes you feel more hopeful, more willing to face yourself honestly, more able to be gentle with your own flaws. That is what it feels like when someone uses their speech as water. Now think of someone whose words always leave you feeling smaller, more ashamed, more afraid. That is what it feels like when someone uses their speech as mud. The question is not, are you perfect? The question is, which direction are you training in? As we move toward the close of this long reflection, I want to make space for your own memories. Take a quiet moment and ask yourself, is there a nickname that still lives in your mind? One that you never truly liked? Is there a person whose words wounded you in a way you still carry? Is there someone you have hurt with your speech, whose eyes you still remember, even if you laugh it off on the surface? Is there a phrase you say to yourself that you know, if you said it to a child, would be cruelty? You do not have to share your answers with anyone, but acknowledging them to yourself is a form of awakening. It is like turning on a light in a room you kept in semi-darkness. If there is a person who hurt you, you may not get an apology from them, but you can begin to untie the knot inside. You can tell your younger self, that nickname was not the truth about you. They were acting from their own ignorance. You deserved better words. If there is someone you have hurt, you can consider reaching out, if appropriate, and saying, back then, I used to joke in ways that were not kind. I am sorry for the times I made you feel small. Even if they shrug it off, the sincerity in your heart matters. If it is not possible or safe to contact them, you can still hold them in your thoughts with a wish for their well-being. And if the person you have hurt most is yourself, then your practice becomes learning a new language, one of compassion and realism instead of cruelty and exaggeration. Before we end, I would love to invite you to share something. If you feel ready, have you ever experienced the long-term effect of a harmless joke or nickname, either as the one who received it or the one who gave it? How did it shape your sense of self, your choices, or your relationships? Was there a moment when you realized, this is not just a joke, this is a wound? And if you have begun to heal it, what helped you most? Your story might help someone else recognize their own pattern and take the first step toward healing. If this deep dive into the power of words, the karma of nicknames, and the way speech can shape destiny resonated with you, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you do not miss future explorations about awakening, wisdom, cause and effect, compassion, practice, and the subtle ways they all weave through ordinary conversations. If you feel called to walk more closely with this community and support this work, you are warmly invited to join as a member. Your attention, your sincerity, and your willingness to look honestly at your own speech are already a precious offering. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. May the words you speak from today forward become more healing than harming, more blessing than burden. May you gently lay down the labels that never belong to you, and may you learn to name yourself and others in ways that help your true nature shine. Every person carries a certain energy. Your focus, your dreams, your purpose. Bracelet is a physical reminder of that energy. symbol you wear daily, that pushes you to stay grounded, balanced, and aligned. If one of the bracelets caught your eye, you can order it through the link in the description and check more powerful styles on our homepage store. Choose the one that strengthens your journey.